Welcome to Shorty Supercoach and welcome to the Cats preview. Apologies, it's taken me a bit of time to get round to the latest video. I've just been absolutely flat chat. I've changed up jobs, sort of been looking to probably study again, just a little short course. So I've been absolutely flat out. Just gave me notice for work the other day and couple of nights out on the town, and before I knew it, it was bloody Tuesday, and I thought, gee, I better do one on Wednesday, and yeah, it's pretty late now, so normally I schedule them for about 6 or 7 o'clock, but I think I'll just throw this one out tonight, and then, yeah, I've got a pretty chill day. I'm working tomorrow, but chill night, not too much on, so hopefully be able to bust a few out and get a couple scheduled, so there's a little life update. But as for the Cats, going to take a look at the lock, the risk, the breakout, and play that's no chance for my side. And I felt Geelong was kind of difficult to do. I mean, normally being my own side, options kind of float out a little bit easier. I've got a few names, but none that I say with a stack of conviction. But the lock is, of course, Dangerfield, been in the forward line. It's a bit of a no-brainer. I mean, I think he will play a bit more time in the forward line, no doubt about it, but a player of his calibre, still capable of breaking games open, I think you've just got to start with him. Now, the risk, I didn't actually find anyone, super relevant, but I just wanted to put out three names that I just think had some of their best seasons, and I just don't think they're guys that we should think about starting in our midfields, and that Mitch Duncan, Cam Guthrie, Sam Menegola, all outstanding players, but I just don't think people should be sort of drawn into a bit of a trap of thinking that, oh, maybe these guys are options for actually being midfield starters. Definitely not. I had outstanding years. I think, for Guthrie and Menegola, some of probably their best years of their career, and Duncan wasn't far off either. He was right up there. Statistically, maybe not quite his absolute best, but you could argue it was his best year of his career. But that shouldn't mean we're drawn into selecting them. I think they're guys that probably aren't really going to go too much higher than what they've done, and probably aren't going to back it up to that absolute nth degree. I think they'll still have great seasons. I bloody hope they do. But I don't think we should get sort of getting sucked into going, oh, no, Geelong's a really good side. How about I go a point of difference and go one of these players? So just a little bit of a warning on that one. In terms of breakout contender, look, the Cats, they haven't really played too many youngsters of late, have they? They're going to have to start. And I think our most talented one is Jordan Clark. He only played the 3 games, average of 50 last year. Pretty sure he's just a midfielder, so that's going to be awkward. Makes it tricky, but if he gets opportunity, I think he's going to be a really, really impressive player. Whether it's off half back, off a wing, I think he's got the goods. Whether you'd start with him, yeah, probably not. But another young fellow, Cooper Stevens, put him down as a chance to get a debut for sure. And Charlie Constable, 2 games at 62. He's got to get opportunity soon, surely. He's a ball magnet. Obviously, there's some flaws in his game. I've heard maybe he's not the best two-way runner and that type of thing, but geez, the man can find the ball. He can find the ball, and I think he's already shown an ability to score at the top level. If he gets into the side, sort of looks like he's locked a spot down, maybe an injury sort of creates a spot for him, you've got to consider, I think. And I had this bloke last year, and I thought in the early stages, I thought he was going all right for it, for a bit of a breakout, but just didn't quite happen for him. Brandon Parfitt, average 84.7, tackling machine. Gosh, I don't know. I know he's not the nicest kick, and he's a bit rough around the edges at times, but he does the hard stuff well. And I think if he ever gets a pure mid opportunity, yeah, he's not going to be the most glamorous guy. He's no Marcus Bontempelli, but he does do the hard stuff in there. So I would like to see him get a bit more time in there, but Geelong have gone and recruited, and, surely at some stage this next generation type has to take over. Nonetheless, we'll be waiting to see. No chance for my side. I mentioned a few young guys there looking for midfield time. Well, this bloke has had a monopoly on the midfield minutes, and that's Joel Selwood. Now, he's been a star for so long. He's been a bloke that we've relied on in Supercoach for many years. average of 82.8. We saw the way he finished the year, averaged 104.3 in the finals. I don't think he dropped under 90 back in the midfield there. But we shouldn't be looking at him. He's just not going to be able to do it consistently. I think he's just about cooked. His body is it's looking battered. Really, really looking like he's struggling. And Geelong seemingly have got to play some other guys through that middle portion of the ground. They seem to just not so much pick and choose, but Joel Selwood isn't a pure mid like he once was. It's almost like when the chips are down, they throw him in there, come finals. He's our guy. And he was actually one of our better players in the grand final. But just because you see Joel Selwood's name at an average of 82.8 doesn't mean we should be selecting him. I think he's still capable of averaging in the 90s, for sure. But his body has taken an absolute battering over the journey, and he's just not a guy that's capable of averaging those numbers he once did. So we just can't start with him. But he has been a star. I know back in the day, in the prime of his career, he was one of my favourites to start with. So that's a wrap for the Cats. We'll be back with a couple more previews and a couple other bits and pieces. I'll do some stuff for Supercoach Talk as well soon. But I'm going to smash this one out, get this uploaded, hopefully before, maybe before 11, something like that. But hope you're well. I'll chat to you soon. Cheers.